Hello, it's now been 3 months since I've been using the TrendTrack tool. So today we're going to take a look at it together. We'll see how to optimize your product research, how to improve your monitoring, and finally, how to optimize your research on competitive intelligence as well as on available resources. There have been new features released, always designed to save you time. If you haven't used the tool yet, you can find the promo code ESTEL20 in the description. So let's get started. We're moving on to the interface. So we'll start with the shop section. In the shop section here, we have a lot of filters that can be combined, both among the shop filters themselves. For example, you can see how much traffic it gets per month, what the traffic growth is, how many products there are, which countries the visitors come from, whether there's a niche. So that's really interesting. If you yourself are in a niche, you can look exclusively at that niche, even down to sub-niches. That's really great. The shop's creation date and so on. And you'll be able to combine them with filters related to ads. So for example, how many active ads there are and the growth of the ads. If you want shops that have at least 100 active ads because you want stores that already have a certain head start and are already working well, there you go, you can come here and then add them up. What I really like about TrendTrack is this part right here with filters that are already pre-made. For you, if you're not feeling very inspired, you can start with a base, like here, the gems of the week. And then you can say, I only want to look at markets where the language is Spanish, for example. And now you only have 103 shops left to analyze. So it all adds up, it's really not bad. There are others like top scaling, etc. Here, there's something new. Let me show it to you. For example, these ones here, I don't really use them much, so I can just go ahead and hide them. So I think that's really nice. It's brand new, and I had made my own filters. And so here I'll be able to activate it. And why not put it, can I put it like this by dragging and dropping? There you go. So I'm showing you what I had put in my own filters. And still, there are 4,000, but I've already done them one by one. So for example, I set traffic between 10,000 and 100,000. I set a traffic growth rate of more than 40% over the last 3 months, a maximum of 40 products. And again, here, for example, I think I could lower it to be more in phases where the stores are really in the process of being created and where it's a market where I too could get involved. And so now normally I can click update and it saves my filters here. And so here from June 1st, okay. Here too, I think we can reduce it a little bit. I had selected the past year, but I can take the last 6 months, for example. There you go. That seems pretty good to me. And so here I'll be able to come back, for example, once a week to check the new brands, see which ones are coming out today and match all my criteria. Knowing that with the filters, here I gave you an example, but it will depend on each person. You might want to set different filters. You might want to target a country of origin, a specific language, a currency, a theme, etc. It really depends on you. I started here with the number of visitors, the amount of traffic, etc. But it's really customizable. And the number of ads as well, that's possible. So here I'm not going to go into detail about the stores, even though it's tempting. And it makes you want to do a live product search, but that's not the goal. Here, the goal is really to show you everything that has been added to the interface to help you save time. So that already was really a new feature that I find quite nice. Next, something else that's nice here is if you select all the shops, you'll be able to do a search by keywords. So for example, if you're looking for fountains, you can enter the keyword. It could be the product name that contains it, or the domain or the keyword itself. So I'll select product name, and now I'll get 1,000 shops with a product name that contains the keyword fountain. And indeed, here, SodaStream is not far off. Here it's going to be a cat fountain. I recognize Petlibro here. So there you go. You can also search by keyword, which is really nice too. All right, so I'll stop here for the shop section. I think that's already pretty good. Next, on the ad section, here it's the same. You'll be able to, so the AD section, for me, is more about inspirational monitoring, trying to pick up on concepts that are already working. And here too, you can create your own view with filters. So for example, let's say I have a shop about dogs or even all animals. And so same thing, once a week or once a day, I just click on my little filter. I've already set the animal niche. I've put here, for example, a maximum of 30,000 followers, but that can be changed. The number of products, etc. You can set the filters however you want. Here, I've mostly selected shops that have just been created. But you can also focus on shops that are trending right now and where you can be sure of their traffic. For example, we can do it live. Let's try to do it quickly. Ah, there we go. I had set up another one. That way it saves me time. Here, I set filters to only get the static ones that have had more than 350,000 impressions. So this way I know that it has already worked. I end up here and we can see, for example, that I have 500,000 impressions, 400,000 impressions, and so on. And so here I can do my monitoring with only the static ones that have performed the best. Here, normally they've also added something. For now, I don't really see the point, but if you want, you can change your display. If you don't want to see, for example, the impressions, etc., you can change the display here if you really just want to scroll through the images or only select the information that interests you. So that's that. It's a little interface bonus they've added not long ago. Okay, next, let's imagine you like an ad. This one, for example, it catches my eye. Honestly, it grabs your attention. And it's simply because there's writing on the skin. And actually, I've already saved this one. So let's say I want to save another one. For example, this piece of jewelry, I save it to my favorites, and it will ask me where I want to put it. So either you create a new folder or I've already created some folders. So here it's in static ideas. So really the library is great. Well, there you go. There are more than 171 million ads. So you have plenty to work with, plenty to get inspired by. And here you'll also be able to find this. I like it and I can't remember if it existed before or not. Here you have everything you've saved. So here you have all my ads. I've saved 62 and then you can directly take them from here. That was my static ID folder. And it brings me here all those heartwarming ads about animals. And what's also nice here, and by the way, I think I'm going to share it with you. This one, the static ideas, you can even share it with people who don't have TrendTrack. So this one, it's 25 static ads that have really performed very well. I'll share it with you by clicking here, and I'll give you the link in the video description. Next, on the advertiser section, so here it's the Facebook page itself. Here too, same principle, you'll be able to save your filters in advance. So here, for example, same thing, I selected a fairly recent creation date, active ads that are growing, the highest possible total number of followers, and a required minimum total page expenditure of exactly 500 euros in currency, on average over the last 7 days. And in the end here, we only have 87 brands, so it can be analyzed fairly quickly. I find this view pretty good because you have the ad directly, the landing page, the targeted countries, the spending trends, etc. So it's yet another way. Here, it's not about the store, it's directly on the meta page. But it's interesting too, for example, Maniva, every time it's something that stands out. And so I tell myself that potentially it's something that still works. So same thing here as well. I'm not going into detail. That could be the subject of another video, but I think it's really nice. So I showed you in relation to the ads. But you can also save shops as favorites. But the best way to save shops, so let's say here it's more like in your monitoring, you can add them to your brand tracker. And here you have several views. So you can either have a really global view with everything or a bit more detailed. Here, just to show you, this one has 400 active ads, etc. This gives you a quick overview. I also like it because it shows the monthly traffic, so after that, it's up to you to decide how you want to use the tool. But in any case, it's really rich in information. So that's all for today, which is already quite a lot. If you need it, I'm giving you the promo code Estelle20, which gives you 20% off your subscription for 3 months. so don't hesitate to use it, and feel free to leave a comment, subscribe, and see you soon.